It's not about picking stocks. It's about picking the right portfolio.
All right, last question here. This is Bruce Cox, who I know is a longtime Hedgeye subscriber, but his question is about seasonality. Your recent calls for downsides seem less likely to play out, but But how do you think about seasonal tailwinds? And I think this is interesting because people love to sort of talk about these seasonal patterns, and often it's after the fact, right? After there's a move. But I just think about last year. People think there's going to be a year-end rally. I was up in Alberta, literally, like stopping myself out of positions as the market imploded into the end of the year. So, I think we have to be very careful about these seasonal patterns and the idea of seasonal patterns and keeping them in our mind. And I don't know how much you think about the flows, or maybe end of quarters different or month end markups different, but seasonality, I assume you don't incorporate it all into your process.
No, not at all. Okay. And you said Bruce has been a long time subscriber. Do you know?
Pretty sure he has. I've seen his name, I think, for a number of years, but I think.
So let's just review, because I think this is a good example, a good in-game coaching moment. Can you read the question verbatim?
Okay. Good morning, gents. Given the huge spike the last 8 days, it would seem many may buy the dips as they chase into year end. Your recent calls for downside seem less likely to play out, ? Also seasonal tailwinds. What's tier 1 saying, ? Thanks for all you do, ! Bruce.
Well, I love you, Bruce. I love the explanation points. I mean, but the statement seems less likely. So after something goes up, let's go back, and I had these questions were much more, and I appreciate it, Bruce. Very polite, professional way to ask the question. I think it's dead wrong, but I mean, it's still fairly placed in terms of its wording. There's no snark. There's no bullshit, right? In July, it was way worse. I mean, people are just assuming it's a bull market. It would seem very unlikely that your call for a recession were to manifest. And then 3 months later, Bruce, what happened, right? So let's just stop there. And then let's just start with seems less likely. Like, our call isn't just like for one thing. I mean, as I just reviewed this morning, like, we can go through what Tier 1 Alpha is saying, but Tier 1 Alpha is not going to change. First of all, I have a different view. They're getting increasingly concerned about the market structure and the blow-up factor risk here, FYI, Bruce. But everything I reviewed, I mean, the Russell 2000 is down for the last 2 days. Does that make it less likely that it can go up the last 2 days? I mean, REITs, which we shorted, those are the two things we doubled down on, and it's now very likely that they went down the last 2 days, Bruce. So I really want you to change how you think. Like, if you can, because I think what's embedded in the question is not a lack of professionalism or an appreciation for us, Jonesy Buds, ! What I think, Bruce, you need is a finer appreciation of what you're paying for. I really do. I think you need to understand the process better. We never take 3, 5, 7 days of a counter trend move when it wasn't even that. It was 5 days in the Russell and now down for the last 2, maybe 3 in a row, Bruce. And then what would you say? It now seems likely that we're going to go down and let's not pay attention to seasonality. We have never paid attention to seasonality. Right? Okay, the reason why is process. We conditionally factor. Now, just use a very basic example, Bruce. Again, you wouldn't have asked this question, I think, if you've seen the macro show when I addressed this the last 10 times. But what did I say last time? Go back and review the tapes, Bruce. I said we use a conditional factoring. You go to every monkey who tells you about seasonality and say, now what? If you bought stocks ahead of September and October for seasonality, seasonal veggies, and the presidential cycle, but it was the year that we were heading into a recession, what happened to you? What happened? You got killed, Bruce. That's what happened. So we're not going to do that. We don't want you to get killed, Bruce. We're not going to let you do that. We're going to let you ask the question. But again, October of 2008. What if I bought on seasonalities, Bruce? What if I did? There were many rallies in October of 08. Go back and look at them. You had everybody piling in there. I mean, that wasn't just seasonality that people were getting long. They were getting long Warren Buffett getting long. They're getting long Bernanke going to cowbell. Not even cowbell. They went to the bazooka with Hank the market tank Paulson, from the former CEO of Goldman Sachs, was holding Bernanke's hand and peeing like a puppy. This is what happened, Bruce. What if you bought into that? What if you bought into October 1987? I mean, it wasn't as bad, but the Russell 2000 went down 17% from July into the October Halloween lows. And that's a pretty bad seasonality. So, we're going to laugh together today, Bruce, because now you're famous. And I want you to be, because I want you to really think about, why am I paying for this? Why am I doing this? Like, why am I sitting here listening to this guy? Okay, and if you can't handle it, it's not for you. It's a lot easier to just believe a 5-day move in the Russell, say seasonality, and just get long. That's easy, really easy. But it's really dumb.
Hey there, Hedgeye Nation, or if you're not part of Hedgeye Nation, thanks for watching Hedgeye on YouTube. If you haven't already, make sure to click on the button below there. Subscribe to our YouTube page. You can also follow the link in the description to our website to get even more great investing content.